Episode 17 of Speculate to Accumulate. Welcome if you're new, and if you what did we say last week? Not a reoccurring customer.
Yeah, call them customers, didn't you?
What did you call them?
Well, I don't know. You called them customers, like we charge.
Subscribers.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll go with subscribers. Welcome back. Last week, we missed out by one on the both teams to score. One of your picks.
Yeah, Preston
North End.
Local boys.
Failed to score, so we hit 5 out of 6 games on that. And Qpr beat them 2-0, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they couldn't get the away goal. So we narrowly missed out on the both teams to score. The acca weren't great. The score and win was looking all right at one point, but it didn't come in. But we go again this week. As always, before we do start proceedings, we are sponsored by Faded Barbershop here in Leyland in Lancashire. So if you are in the Lancashire region and you need a haircut, go and see Kane and the boys and they'll sort you out. So we ran the competition as well last week. And the winner's going to win £20. And like I said in the last podcast, I'm going to draw him out the hat. So I'm going to give this hat a bit of a shake and you can pick out a winner.
I get the pleasure.
Have a drum roll?
No.
Use your fingers.
You don't like the tapping table?
I know. Because it comes through out mic. If you're on the audio now, you might be able to hear the rustling of the names. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see me shaking an hat like a dick. What? Take your pick.
Well, that one.
One sec. Just so you can see there is other names in the hat. It's not rigged. Who've we got?
Jonathan Cook.
Jonathan Cook. Congratulations, pal. If you'd like to drop me a message or drop a comment down below. I know he follows me on Twitter, actually, Jonathan. Or just drop me a message on Twitter and we'll sort that out. Well done. So, fourfold this week. We'll jump straight in. The first pick on the fourfold is going to be Swindon to beat Oldham. So Swindon as one of the scary facts. I was like, fucking hell, what the fuck have I written here? And then I remembered I'm dropping facts on everyone, and we had them last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we learned that Oasis are named after a Oasis leisure centre from a gig poster. This week, and I'm thinking, you can't have enough facts about Swindon. I do. Swindon has one of the scariest roads in Britain. The famous Magic Roundabout has been named one of the scariest junctions in the UK.
Cool.
You want to see a picture of it? Fuck that. You have to look right and then look right again. So, onto the football. It's first versus 21st. Oldham have only taken 9 points from 9 away games all season. Swindon have the joint third best home record in the league, taking 19 points from 10 home games. They've also won 3, drew 1 and lost 1 in the previous 5 games. 5 home games, should I say, sorry. And Oldham have only won 1 away in the previous 7. So the first pick is going to be Swindon to beat Oldham.
Flying, aren't they? The second pick is going to be Plymouth at home to Morecambe.
Do you want a fact about Plymouth?
Well,
there's a roundabout, and I know this. I didn't even have to research this because I've been to Plymouth before. I've got some friends there. There's a roundabout in the middle of Plymouth, what used to be an old church, what got bombed in World War II. Honestly, it looks really fucking good. Carry do continue.
So like I say, it's Plymouth to beat Morecambe. Morecambe are sat bottom of the league and have picked up just 8 points on the road this season, which is the second worst in the league. Plymouth have won the last 3 home league games, and last home game, they beat a pretty good Bradford side. So Plymouth to beat Morecambe.
Up the greens. Green or meat. Next pick, the third pick, is going to be Crewe to beat Mansfield. I know a lot of you might be thinking, you can't have a fact about Crewe, and you've just seen it there. It's quite good, that, isn't it?
I've not read it yet.
Oh, Crewe, the original home of Rolls-Royce. Madness. And now Bentley own it. There's another little fact. But Crewe are unbeaten in the previous 4 games. It's 5th versus 18th, with Crewe only being 5 points off the top of the League 2 with a game in hand. Mansfield without a win in 5 games, and Crewe have had some impressive home wins this season, including victories against promotion hopeful Swindon and Bradford. So the third pick is going to be Crewe to beat Mansfield.
And the final pick is going to be Preston at home to Luton. After a pretty terrible run of form, really, wasn't it, for Preston?
Yeah.
They went 4 games without a goal. Midweek, they bounced back with a home win against Fulham.
Impressive.
But out of them 4 games that they didn't score, they only had the one home game where they got beat by West Brom from that dive for the penalty.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That was
shocking.
The other, I think the other 3 were away. So
yeah.
But Preston are top of the home form table still with 8 wins from 11 games. And Luton have lost 9 out of 11 away games in the league this season. So Preston to beat Luton.
They're not going to take now at the Fortress, which is Deepdale, are they?
Nothing.
No, I don't think so. Looking at around 8-1. Between 8 and 10's on that slip, aren't we? So that's the fourfold. On to the both teams to score, which we've had a bit of joy from. And we nearly had more joy from it last week.
2 weeks ago was the winner, and then last week Preston let it down.
Goal let it down, yeah. Go on, you can start on this one if you want.
The first pick is going to be Barnsley versus QPR. Barnsley have been great for both teams to score this season. And they've landed it in the last 7 home games as well. QPR have landed it in 3 of the last 5 away games too, so I'm hoping for plenty of goals at each end.
It is. The second pick is going to be Sunderland versus Blackpool. So Sunderland have landed 4 out of 5 both teams scoring 4 out of 5 of the previous 5 home games. Blackpool have landed 4 out of the previous 5 games where both teams have scored. 11th versus 4th with 6 points separating the two sides, with Sunderland having a game in hand. So Sunderland are 11th, Blackpool are 4th. So
getting taste around them playoffs, isn't it?
Yeah. So Sunderland, they shouldn't be in League. Well, as a club of that size, in my opinion, shouldn't be in League One. But it's,
they're on merit, aren't they?
Well, yeah, that's it. But so I expect some goals in that one though.
The third pick is going to be Wiggum versus Huddersfield. Wigan have landed both teams to score in 7 of the last 8 games, and Huddersfield have landed both teams to score in 5 of their last 8. Nothing much more to say about that.
They're pretty 2 steady sides. They had a tough start, Huddersfield, but they have started scoring.
They had a stinking start. Yeah. Wigan weren't scoring goals at the start of the season. They've come into a bit of form recently, haven't they?
That Jacobs looks a player for them. Left side. The third pick is going to be Ipswich versus Bristol Rovers. So it's second place Ipswich versus 5th place Bristol Rovers. Only 5 points separating the two sides. Both sides have landed in the previous 4 fixtures, which is nice to see. Hopefully it does continue. Bristol Rovers unbeaten in 9, so I do fancy them to score an away goal, despite Ipswich being second in the league and probably were the favourite in League One to go back up to the Championship at the start of the season, weren't they? So yeah, the fourth pick, is going to be Ipswich versus Bristol Rovers.
The 5th pick is going to be Scunthorpe versus Colchester. Scunthorpe have landed both teams to score in 3 of the last 5 home league games, and Colchester have landed both teams scoring 4 of the last 5 away league games. So again, I think very, very strong chance.
Hopefully. And the 6th and final pick on the both teams to score is going to be Nottingham versus Sheffield Wednesday. So Nottingham Forest, versus Sheffield Wednesday. So Forest have landed in the previous 2 fixtures. Sheffield Wednesday have landed both teams to score in the previous 7 games. Wednesday only failed to score in 2 away games all season. And it's 5th versus 8th. Only 1 point separating the two sides. So I expect goal fest again. 7 on bounce, both teams score for Wednesday. Very nice.
It was like that way. Was it Crawley when I pulled them out of a week? Were they 14 out of 15 or something daft like that?
Ridiculous, yeah. So the both teams score 6 folders as follows. It's going to be Sunderland versus Blackpool,
Barnsley versus QPR,
Ipswich versus Bristol Rovers,
Wiggum versus Huddersfield,
Nottingham Forest versus Sheffield Wednesday,
and Scunthorpe versus Colchester.
Between like 32 and 38 to 1 on odds checker, weren't it?
They vary, depend on who you bet with.
Who your bookie is. Yes. So on to score and win treble. Remember, both teams have to score and the team we pick has to win. So, first game we're going to go for is Wycombe to beat Burton with both teams scoring. So it's top of the league Wycombe versus 15th place Burton Albion. Wycombe are unbeaten in 3 home games. And Burton Albion have only failed to score in 2 away games this season. Top of the league Wycombe, they'll just fancy the chances here, won't they?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Bottom half team.
Yeah.
The second pick is going to be Oxford United away at MK Dons. MK Dons have lost 4 of the last 5 home games in all competitions and scored in 3 of those 4 that they've lost. And I think the other one was a 2-0 win against Coventry in one of the cups.
Yeah.
Oxford have won 3 of their last 5 aways unbeaten. Have won 3 of the last 5 aways. They're unbeaten in all 5 of them and have conceded in 3 of those 5 as well.
Should be nailed on that. We was going to put them on the acca, weren't we? But I shitbagged it. And the third and final pick on the score and win, we're going to go for Port Vale to beat Crawley away, with both teams scoring. So Port Vale have won 4 out of the previous 5 aways, with 2 of them games having both teams scored. Crawley without a win at home in 4. It's 16th place Crawley versus 10th place Port Vale, with 6 points separating the 2 sides. So I do fancy both teams scoring. But with Port Vale winning 4 in the previous 5 aways, I fancy Vale to swing while they're winning. You don't get it, do you?
No.
Robbie released an album, Swing When You're Winning.
There you go.
No, you've got it. 103 to 1. Tasty odds. Very tasty odds. So, the trebles as follows. Both teams score Wycombe to beat Burton.
Both teams score Oxford to beat MK Dons.
Both teams to score Port Vale to beat Crawley at 103 to 1. Very, very tasty odds. Not missing out, have we?
No.
Apart from a winner last week. Apart from a North End goal, should I say.
We missed that.
Yeah. Up to 131 subscribers now. Thank you very much if you have subscribed. If you've not subscribed and you enjoyed this podcast / video, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notifications bell next to it, and then every Friday between 6 and 9 o'clock, you'll get a notification that we've uploaded another one. But until next time, peace out.